Thank you, Senator. I now call Senator O'Dongala, please, for 8 minutes.
Gormaige the last Carly agus Gormaige Iris of Eilen or Easton play Tawtak Shogas and Treslium, Lesson Major Durton Shanador, Black Mully Tilchogat, Ohio. To Hennig Chak the shot Osar Gore, Gimin Minnick on the Howard Shaw Flay. I want to agree with Senator Black's assertion, Minister, that we do welcome your sustained engagement with the Shannon in relation to this important issue. We have shown as a chamber a huge degree of interest in this issue and are ready and willing to engage with you through our membership of the Shannon and indeed our membership of our own individual political parties or none in relation to this issue and standing up for Ireland's interests. I agree with Senator Richmond's assertion that there is just too much. You could say that unfortunately 8 minutes doesn't afford us the opportunity to say it all in relation to Brexit and its implications. I would assert negative implications on every and all aspect of our lives here in Ireland and how it permeates therein. I would disagree with him in terms of his assertion around the issue of Irish reunification, as I have no doubt he would expect me to. I was at the Good Friday Agreement Committee when the Taoiseach asserted that he was a constitutional Republican and wanted to see reunification in his political lifetime. So it's a perfectly legitimate and democratic aspiration and desire, one that's laid out in the Good Friday Agreement, which you lauded, and also Bunrak na Heron as well. But listen, Shin Scale Ella, and hopefully it's a debate we can have and will have on another day. Taoiseach, I wanted to focus in on the issue of rights and rights for citizens in a post-Brexit scenario. I have a number of questions as well as a number of points relating to the issue of rights. And the first question I would have, Minister, is where is Annex 1, the list of rights which the protocol said would be produced, and will they specifically, Minister, be signed off for the June Council meeting? And I appreciate and take on board and recognise fully that you and indeed the EU side are in the midst of a negotiation. But I think it's important to say that these are fundamental issues of rights. There are people who are certainly concerned from the agricultural and business communities about what Brexit or any re-emergence of a border will have, what impact it will have on their lives. But there are also very real fundamental fears out there about how people will access justice, how people will access their rights as workers, how people will access their rights to the European courts, how people will access their rights as Irish citizens as well as EU citizens trapped against their will in a post-Brexit North. So I don't ask any of my questions, Minister, as I'm sure you'll appreciate, which has been my consistent position, not to be combative or confrontational with you, but from a very sincere and deep-rooted place, given the conversations and the engagements that I'm having with people. And to be fair to you, Taoiseach, you have had those engagements yourself, as you referred to. Civic nationalism has certainly mobilised around this issue of rights. They have called on you and indeed the Taoiseach to ensure that our rights as Irish citizens are fully protected as we move forward, that it doesn't go down to a high wire act or an 11th hour issue of negotiation, that these issues are well resolved, well assured, well set in legal and political context before we move closer and closer to that 11th hour. And I also note and welcome to the response and the acknowledgement from people within civic unionism who also are keen to have that engagement with their nationalist counterparts and indeed the Irish government moving forward. So the Taoiseach himself said that never again would an Irish government abandon citizens north of the border. I think it's time, and I say respectfully, it's time we put that assertion into action, and I would be very keen to hear from you, Minister, where we stand in relation to Annex 1 and the list of rights which we were told would be produced and when that will be produced moving forward. Taoiseach, you'll remember 5 months ago You might not remember, so I'll give you a bye ball if you don't. You're a very busy man. But 5 months ago, at that same Good Friday Agreement Committee, I put to you the suggestion which you were open to and said you would engage with your officials on about a dedicated, what I refer to as a citizenship hub, a facility or an outlet that citizens in the north would have a direct interface with the Irish government to engage with them on those issues of rights, whether it was about rights, whether it was about agricultural issues, whether it was about, as Francis said, students and their rights and entitlements under various programmes, or even one of the biggest questions I'm asked when I go around schools with my colleague Martina Anderson, the MEP, one of the many questions I'm asked is by students, am I going to be able to go to Trinity? Am I going to be able to go and do Irish at UCG? So that you still have all of this uncertainty, and certainly I can answer up until a point. But I do believe there is a response, and I think you acknowledge this, Minister. I think you appreciate this, given your exchanges and engagements in the north, that there is a dedicated resource there that is open to citizens, so that we have a conduit through which to engage with the Irish government, with the EU structures, that we have that right, that protection of rights and that ability to avail of information afforded to. So, Mar Ockle Skur, I'll ask Caherly, and I'll finish on this. The question around Annex 1, Taoiseach, when that will be produced, that the issue can't be prolonged to an 11th hour stage, and if you'll maybe have any feedback in relation to the citizenship hub. Shanador.